Pink peonies painted with blue? Sounds mad, but it's the trick to make your flowers pop. Let me show you. The first thing we do when we want to paint a particular flower is figure out what the local colour is going to be. So in other words, if you're painting pink peonies, the local colour is going to be pink. And then before too long, one of the first things you learn when you start painting flowers is that to make your flower look a bit more interesting, you're going to need some variation in that particular local colour. So we learn about value, we learn about putting in some darks and some lights, and this on its own goes a long way to making our flowers come to life. And with watercolour, it's actually quite easy to add some light and dark versions of that local colour. So when we add thicker paint with less water, we're going to end up with a deeper version of the local colour. And if we add a little bit more water and dilute those pigments, more of the paper shows through and we end up with a lighter version of that local colour. And that's great. That does give us some suggestion of the shadows and lights that are caused by the overlapping petals. But the thing that helped me start painting flowers that I was much happier with was being even bolder with that colour and choosing colours from a completely different family. So in this example, I'm using blue paint to paint pink flowers. It's not that I'm painting blue petals, it's that I'm using a really strong contrast in colour to show the shadow area. So it's a contrast in temperature. The pink flowers are obviously a lovely warm colour, but where there is a shadow section, that's much cooler. And rather than just looking for a slight variation on that pink colour, I'm actually going for a whole new colour family. It can feel a little bit weird doing something like this, especially if the bloom I'm painting right now is the one that is the furthest away from the light. And so it really is almost completely in shadow. So I'm really painting it kind of blue. It's still pink flowers. And I think this is where, when you're just starting out, it can feel like you're doing something totally wrong, because how on earth are you going to make a peony look like it's pink if you go and paint it with blue paint? But it's a pretty amazing thing that our brains can do. You kind of have to hold the faith and see what happens, see the painting when it's finished before you start believing that this can actually work. So let me finish this painting and see if I can convince you. So I'm adding in some additional blooms here. I'm working my way around. The one I'm painting now in the front, that one is mostly pink. And again, I want to show some variation. So we said that you can get lighter colors by using less pigment. You can also do that by removing pigment, which you saw me do there, using the kitchen towel to kind of blot away some of the color, which is creating sort of shadow variations. So watercolour is a bit more forgiving than people give it credit for. You know, sometimes you get the variation as you put the brush strokes down, depending on how much dampness there is on the paper. I like to paint with a little bit of water here and there, so I get a bit of a surprise in the change in values. And it depends on how you put down the brush strokes. But remember that if it doesn't work out the way you were hoping, you've always got the option of using the kitchen towel to blot away if you want to. You can get darker marks of that still local colour using the concentrated paint. And I'm doing that to suggest a few of these little petal edges in the bloom that is facing us. That's still quite a subtle effect. So we can go one level up by choosing a darker version of that same local colour. So I've got a much darker warm red here that I'm adding a few more marks with, to give a little bit more boldness to the suggestion of darks in the center. I'm also going to add a couple of little tiny marks with the blue shadow color, but I want to make sure I'm using a little bit less of that because this flower is not quite so much in shadow as the one beside it. I'm working with a nice limited palette here. I'm really only using two versions of that local pink color, you know, the light one and then that deeper red color, and one wildly different color, the blue. And with just those colors, I've got not only contrast in values, but also contrast in color temperature. So using just those three and working my way around the painting, I'm able to get nice variation, which will help me create some blooms that don't look like flat two-dimensional flowers. The other opportunity that we have for some lovely contrast is to put in some deep dark greens for the leaves and the foliage. And that's going to happen around some of those blooms. But first, let's put a bit of colour into the vase. Again, I really want to pay attention to which side I'm going to make light and which side I'm going to make dark, so that I can make the vase not seem too flat either. I'm going to put in a nice bold shadow colour all the way down the right-hand side of the vase, and from up where the flowers would be casting a little bit of a shadow as well. And I've even got a slightly darker colour on this little palette I happen to be working with, so why not pop a bit of that in too. I think that the flowers would be casting a little bit more of a shadow, so let's deepen that up with this now super dark colour that I've got. It's a bit of purple, and I must admit, purple's my favourite, so if I can find a way to add a little bit, I usually do. By the way, if you're wondering what colours I'm using, it's actually the Holbein Granulating Watercolour set of 6 flower colours, which I've been playing with and rather enjoying. And right now I'm mixing up a nice dark green to put in some contrasting leaves. For me, this little painting wants to be all about those beautiful blooms. So I don't want to put too much effort into the leaves. I don't want them to be drawing attention. But just like with the flowers, I do think that they need to have a little bit of variation to them. So as I've done with all the other parts of the painting, I'm lifting out some of the colour to create some light and shade, and also trying to mix up a slightly different version of the colour each time I paint a leaf. So when I say mixing up a different version, sometimes I'm using just the dark green colour I've got, sometimes I'll add a little bit of blue from the palette, sometimes a little bit of the purple from the palette. And that way you're always getting a slightly different version of the dark green colour each time you put down a mark. And the other thing that I really love is using the shape of the brush to create the petals. And just a simple round brush can actually get you so many different marks. I've got another video all about that. I'll link it up in the cards. But you can see how easy it is to paint really quite fine lines for the stems and the tiny little bit of green that is supporting the base of each of those blooms by just painting with the tip of the brush. But when it comes to painting those leaves, you can push down with the full belly of the brush and flick it up to make sure your leaf has a lovely sharp pointed tip. Even with a muted palette like this one, you can see that using relative colour temperature and value really makes your painting come to life. And if more lively paintings is something you're interested in, this is the video you want to watch next. Happy painting!